Hello everyone, Blueharvest Bricks back again, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a kind of decaling tips and tricks video. So today I'm going to be doing 4 of my 2020 style Wolfpack troopers with Jonak decals and Thiccybrickie arm decals down here. I will try and leave everyone's links in the description down below. I got these all off of Blueharvest Bricks, and I'll try and leave a picture of their site right here on the video if I remember, but again their links will be down in the description. So what I'm going to do in today's video is I am going to go through showing one figure at a time, one figure, the process of how to decal, any tips that I've got or anything that I've learned. And then I'm going to time lapse doing that section on all the rest of the figures before going on to each part. So like I'll do like the hips, the helmet, the torso, legs, arms on one figure, and then time lapse doing that section for the rest of the figures. So hopefully by the end of it I'll have 4 Wolfpack troopers that look something like this when completed. So thank you very much guys, and enjoy the video. Right, first thing everyone needs to do when getting started decaling is disassemble their figures. So all these figures are blank figures which I have gotten from Blueharvest Bricks. I am using the knockoff style phase 2 helmets. They look just as good as the Lego ones, but as a cost cutting measure, so I'm not spending too much when I'm decaling. So disassemble your figure, easy enough. Pop off the helmet, pop off the head. With the arms, got to be a bit careful so you don't crack the torso, but they can pop off. And I always try and mirror out the body feature when I'm going down. And next up is the leg. So what you want to do is grab hold of the torso and slowly wiggle the leg until it pops off, and make sure you keep it in the right one. And next I'll do the right leg as you're looking at it, and there we go. So that's what you want to end up with, and I always like to keep mine in this sort of style so I know which part is which. And now I'm going to do the same for the next figures, so then I've got them all laid out. Right, now all the figures are disassembled and they're all in a nice little separate piles. What I tend to do then, I am showing what to do with, like, if you're doing multiple at a time, but if you're just starting out, I recommend just doing 1 or 2. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these across, still keeping them in their pile, just off to the side. An important thing when you're decaling is just make sure that you've got a nice little space for yourself, so then that you can got room and that you don't knock anything over. I have knocked stuff over whilst doing this, and it's not nice when that happens, so just have to be a bit careful and take your time. And I think that's the thing most people will agree with when decaling, is to take your time. So first step of decaling, which you need to do, is carving the hips. Now, many people have different methods for doing this. Some people use like an electric motor nail file. I use the Citadel mold line remover. Really good thing. If you don't want to watch my tutorial on it, watch other people. So what people tend to do is go like this and carve it out. I'm not actually pressing pressure on it, but you could get these off of Amazon for around £15. Really good investment, but by the end of it you do want your figures to have a gap in the hips just like this. That's kind of how much you want to take off. This is a finished version, because otherwise the hips will grind on the decal and tear it off. I'll actually show you an example of that right now, one to hand. So if you notice on my winter 330-second trooper, I have taken off a bit of the decal there where I didn't carve enough on the inside of this hip. So that's what can happen, so you need to be careful with that. So what you want to do, you don't go like this, you go like this, and you want to put a decent amount of pressure and just essentially just go back and forth like that. It does take some time, so I recommend finding a pace that you're happy with and stick to that pace. Don't rush it. You know the saying, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So I would really recommend doing that. I always tap out the excess either into my little pot where I keep all my decals, my decal shreds, so like just like a little pot to the side. So I do that, and I just keep going and keep looking. And one thing that you can do is, if you're not sure if it is carved enough, at a certain point you could always just pop back in your leg piece and have a visual look. So obviously I have not carved out enough of the hip at the moment, so I will have to keep going. But that's one thing that you can do when you're going along, is just like keep just having a visual check. Pop back in your legs just to make sure you do it out. So I'm gonna keep doing this. I always go a bit harder and at an angle for closer to the hip piece, because that's the bit I always miss the most. So I'm gonna keep doing this on this side, and I'll probably do a time lapse or skip ahead when I've completed all the other figures, but I'll just do this one side for a moment just to show you guys. So always have to bash it out. Sometimes you have to pick out a bit of thing, but you can see we're going down quite a bit more, so I have to put a bit more pressure on this side just to get out this. So that's what I'm doing now. It is quite hard, and it does stiffen your hands a bit, so just be wary and just be careful. Don't go too hard, but you have to be hard enough at the same time to get the plastic off. So you don't want to break your hips, because otherwise you need to get more. But yeah, so just keep doing that. I am making a mess. Just be wary of that. All right. I'll clean that up in a second. Sometimes you need to give it a little blow. Alright, so now I'm going to put back in my leg, and now you can see there is a bit more of a gap. It is a bit tight on this side, so if I just want to make sure, I'm just going to grind those bits again, but I'll show you again in a second. Alright, now I've just finished this hip, and you can see that it's so much better. I've got a nice gap in there, so I'm not really going to tear up my decal when I finally put on my leg decal. So this is the kind of what you want. I am going to skip ahead, do all the other hips now, so they're done and I don't have to worry about them. Probably not going to do a time lapse for this, because it's quite boring and it does take a while to do, and you do need to take your time when doing the hips. So I'll catch you guys in a bit, and we'll go on to the next part afterwards. Okay everyone, back again, and all the hips are done. They're all nice and carved. All the legs fit in nicely to each of them, and I'm not gonna cut up my decal, so all the hips are done and back with their respective bodies. I'm just showing you on this one, so how it should look afterwards. So I'm not gonna do all that, but that's about it for this episode. I am gonna make this a mini series, so if you like what you see here, please leave a comment down below. Please consider subscribing, and next episode I will be doing decals on the helmet, so please be sure to check that out, and I will put them all in a publicly available playlist as I upload, and I will be planning on uploading every day, so you're not waiting a week or two for an episode of this. So thank you all again, and I'll catch you all next time.